Today, we are going to review your warm market, how to penetrate your warm market, and how to also penetrate social media, and how to use social media to your advantage, as the majority of social media activity generally will not cost you a dime. So, first and foremost, guys, I'm going to begin with this, and then after we talk about how to reach out to those in your community, friends, family, neighbors, relatives, we're going to end with this before I move on to the next topic, which will be social media. And that is reaching out to your friends, family, neighbors, church members. If you know their name, then they should be on your list to reach out to and share with them a little more in depth of what it is that you are now doing and the products and services that you market. So here's a question, guys. When you have an incredible experience somewhere, or if you find an incredible deal of the century, how often do you typically want to share that experience or that special find with someone else? When you are just blown away with an item that you purchased, either due to the price, due to how incredible the product is, or the high level of quality service that you received, how often do you typically want to share that with someone else?
All the time.
Always. You never want to keep that a secret. When you have something special that you found or that you stumbled across, you typically want to share that with other people, don't you? So how is this any different? Oh, I don't know, Rusty. I don't want to really have to, reach out to people I know. I'd rather do business with people I don't know. Well, shame on you. And I'll tell you why shame on you. Because what we do for a living is all about protecting their families on what is going to be the hardest, most difficult day of their life. Not just the immediate burden, but the aftermath of that as well. Guys, we're not limited to just selling a $10,000 burial insurance plan. We can do a whole lot more than that. At the end of the day, we are not just Final Wishes advisors. We are life insurance experts. Can I get an amen to that?
Amen.
If you guys think that all you're out there doing is just peddling $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 funding and planning programs, and that's all you're concentrating on, then there's a lot of people in and around your community that you're not serving. And there are a lot of families that you could be doing more for, and there's a lot more money that you are leaving on the table. So in financial services, I don't care if it's Northwestern Mutual, I don't care if it's Tax Advisors, I don't care if it's Cornerstone Financial Group, I don't care if it's Edward Jones, which when you begin your career with Edward Jones and you end your career with Edward Jones, and unless you've got a pipeline of several thousand clients, you're out there beating the streets, and you're knocking on doors in a suit and tie, trying to generate business. That's what Edward Jones people do. They are the Jehovah Witnesses of financial services, because they're not afraid to go out there and knock on a door, dressed from top to bottom, looking all GQ out there in 110 degrees or 10 degrees. So when you create that list, they call it Project 100 or Project 300. Some financial firms will have you to create a list of 100 people, most of them around 300 people. And this is how you get started in financial services. Come up with a list of 300 names. Doesn't matter how well you know them. If you know them, if you know their name, and you have their phone number, or you can get their number, then they need to be on your list. And so when you create that list, then it's a matter of reaching out with them to them and scheduling an appointment. Guys, this is a lot easier. This is a lot easier to do what it is that we do and reaching out to people that we know. So when you create that list, Mary 3 doors down the street, if it's your cousin in the town next to you, you haven't talked to your cousin in about a year, and he's got a wife and 3 kids that are all teenagers, why wouldn't you reach out to that person? If you've got Miss Mary who's 78 years young and she's been going to the same church as you for the past 30 years, why wouldn't you reach out to that person? But you know, Mary's probably looking for somebody like you, but she ended up doing business with a different agent because of a lead that she filled out, that she received in the mail, filled it out, stuck in the mail, and a different final expense agent worked that lead, got in front of Mary, ended up selling her a policy because she kept herself a secret. So when you create that list, how do you reach out to them? What do you say? How does that work? Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're getting ready to cover right now. This is how simple it really is to schedule appointments with people that you know. Ring, ring. Hello. Hey, is this Bob? Hey, Bob. Rusty Westfall. How have you been doing, my friend? Well, that's good to hear. Great, great. And how's Mary and the kids doing? Oh, that's wonderful. Awesome news. Awesome news. Hey, look, Bob, I know you're busy, so I'll make this real quick. I recently started a new career as a Final Wishes advisor, and I wanted to swing by for just a moment and show you and Mary what all it is that I do now, and just see what you guys think. I'm actually going to be in your area later this week. What day and what time do you think would be best for you guys? Did you get that? Was that difficult? See, at the end of the day, folks, you know, friends, family, people that we have an acquaintance with, at the end of the day, they are no different than a TV lead, a direct mail lead, a yellow page lead, a Facebook lead, a telemarketed lead, an internet lead. They're no different. These are the same people. You just happen to know them by name. So at the end of the day, it's still sales. And at the end of the day, you still want to get your knees under the table and do it in the easiest, most simple way. Yes, less is more, less is more, less is more, less is more. Would you guys like for me to go through that script one more time?
Yes, please.
So who said yes, please?
Jamie.
You said Jamie. Jamie. All right, Jamie, you're my client. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Jamie, hey, I think this is Jamie. Is this Jamie?
Yes, this is Jamie.
Oh, okay. I couldn't quite tell if that was you or a cat. Sound like a cat answered the phone. Well, Jamie, it's Rusty. How have you been doing, young lady?
Oh, I've been fine. Thanks for asking.
Oh, there we go. We got Jamie's normal voice now. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Hey, Jamie, how's Bob and how are your kids doing?
Oh, you know, kids are honoring than ever, and Bob, he's just doing his thing. So we're all, you know, status quo.
Well, that's good to hear. So everybody's behaving and staying out of trouble?
Well, I wouldn't say all that, but you know us.
Yeah, it sounds like the Bob I know. That's too funny. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that you guys have been doing well. That's awesome. Hey, Jamie, look, I know you're busy, so I'll make this quick. I recently started a new career as a Final Wishes advisor, and what I wanted to do is swing by for just a moment and show you and Bob what all it is that I now do, and just basically see what you guys think. I'm actually going to be around your area later this week. What day and what time do you think works best for you guys? And guys, that's it. That's it. We're done. No more role playing. What do you guys think of that approach? Somebody give me some feedback.
Yes, keep it simple, stupid. You did it.
You know, at the end of the day, guys, nothing about this business has to be difficult. Nothing. absolutely nothing. We just find a way to make things difficult when at the end of the day it really doesn't have to be. Are we trying to get in front of our clients, our prospects, whether we know them or we don't? Aren't we just trying to get in front of our prospects so that way we can do what we do best, and that's really help these people? I'm going to say about 95% of these, of anybody, whether it's a lead or it's an introduction or just somebody you've already known, you've known for the past 30, 40 years, that 95% of them, a high majority of these people, don't really know that they need help. Yes or no?
Yes.
They really don't know that they need help until they met you, until you came in the door and do what you do best, and that is build relationships, ask questions, discover what their current situation, what their needs are, educate them along the way, and leave them in a better position than how you found them. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. That just doesn't have to be, that doesn't have to just apply to this business. That can also apply to us in our everyday personal lives. That at the end of the day, we only know what we know until we learn, or until we are shown or educated, more than what it is that we thought we knew. And our clients, again, guys, over 90% of these people don't even know the basic differences of term life insurance and whole life insurance. So at the end of the day, when you're creating that list, Project 300, Project 100, Project 200, whatever, and you're creating that list, if you know a person by name and you have their contact information, why would you not reach out to that person and just share with them and say, listen, I know you're busy, so I'll make this real quick, Mary. Listen, I just recently started a new career as a Final Wishes advisor. And, Mary, I wanted to swing by for just a moment, and I want to show you and Mary, or you and Mark, what all it is that I now do. And I want to see what you guys think. I'm actually going to be around your area all this week. What day and what time do you think would be best for you guys? So here's a little pushback. Is every single phone call going to be that smooth and that easy, where they just say, well, I guess later today or tomorrow will be good? No. A lot of people are going to ask questions. Final Wishes advisor, well, what is that? Oh, that's a great question. And actually, Jamie, that's what I want to fill you in on. I value your opinion, which is why I wanted to swing by for just a moment and show you. Look, Jamie, I don't need a whole lot of you and Bob's time. I'll be brief. So how does Tuesday evening work for you guys? There we go. Final Wishes advisor. Well, what is that? Or what? So you're an advisor. What does that mean? Well, what are you doing? Great question. Actually, that's what I want to fill you in on. Look, I value you and Bob's opinion, Jamie, which is why I wanted to swing by for just a moment and show you. I don't need a lot of you guys' time. I'll be brief. So how does tomorrow evening work for you guys? Anytime after 6 o'clock. Would that be all right? A potential objection, response, and then go right for the close. Go right for the appointment. Now, are you gonna come by and try to sell me something? No, absolutely not. Look, Jamie, I specialize in helping fixed income families and veterans with their Final Wishes planning. And not only do I want to get your opinion on what I show you, but you might even know of a few families who are looking for somebody like myself. So will tomorrow evening work for you guys? Let me stop here and let me get some feedback for you guys. What do you think of this approach? And what do you think of some of the responses to, some of the potential questions or resistance you're going to receive? All right.
Yeah,
so
Rusty.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Grant Hughes. I think one of the things, the way you're setting that up is you're kind of overcoming some of the objections that they're going to have. and that approach is also trying to put them at ease where they will listen to you. And then, but my one question is, once you get in and you start, you're getting their opinion and all that, then what's your best strategy for closing them?
Well, when you get your foot in the door, if it's somebody you already have a relation with, you're still going to chew the fat for 5, maybe even 10 minutes. We might even make an exception to this rule because these are already people that you know, that you have a relationship with, a history with. So after you chew the fat with these people, just go right into it. Say, listen, guys, I know you guys are busy, and I appreciate you guys making time for me. And I promised you on the phone I'll be brief. So here's the deal, guys. I started a new career as a Final Wishes advisor. What is that? I am an expert who specializes in serving veterans along with fixed income families with their Final Wishes planning. Funding side of the equation, many different life insurance and final expense companies and carriers that I have in my portfolio. And on the planning side of the equation, I have a phenomenal program where just $30 a month for family of up to 5 people. You can prearrange all your final arrangements in advance and just leaves it to where the family makes one single phone call, and that's pretty much it. Everything else on the planning side is already going to be taken care of for the family, so ain't no mental burden left on you guys to have to deal with. And so that's really what it is that I do. And, what I want to do real quick is, if you guys don't mind, just take you through a quick 10-minute process of, how I typically help my clients, and then just show you a little bit about the program and answer any questions you might have, and see what you think, give me your feedback, and also see if there's anybody else that you might know that is actually looking for somebody like myself to where I might be able to help them out. Is that okay? Would that be all right? Well, yeah, no, that's fine. Now you already got their attention. You've already got their attention. Just with the introduction there and explaining who you are and what it is that you do, now these people are interested. So typically what I do here, Grant, is, what I've learned is that, you've got to first ask questions with every new client to understand their situation, what their needs, what their concerns, what their final wishes are, before we present the appropriate solution, if we have one. If there's a need for one, in order to take care of, what's important to them. And so that's what this sheet is, and I'll hold up my clipboard, and that's what this sheet is here. That's where I just ask a few general questions to get an idea of what all that looks like. And if you guys don't mind, just kind of give me a little bit of practice, and I'd just like to practice on you guys. Would that be all right? Practice on you guys. I'd just like to practice on you guys. Would that be all right? Well, yeah. Okay. All right, well, good. Now, Bob, Mary, I know that, Bob, you're going to be responsible for, Mary's final arrangements if she dies before you, and Mary, I know you're going to be responsible for Bob if he dies before you do, right? Now, who's going to be in charge of taking care of both y'all's final arrangements in the event of both y'all passing at the same time? Who would that be? And already the wheels are in motion, and we are already stirring the emotional pot with these 2 people who didn't even ask for me, didn't respond to any kind of a advertisement. These are just people that, you knew. You got your knees on the table, and now you're taking them through the process to give you some practice, and also to show these people how you serve your clients and how you go about helping them after you complete the discovery. Then you transition right into, the program and explaining who we are, what we do, and how all this works. That's how I do it, Brandon. It doesn't have to be anything really too different, does it? Because at the end of the day, guys, just as well as I do, that 98% of every single person that you make contact with, whether you know these people or you don't, have not pre-planned or pre-arranged their final arrangements in advance yet. Most of these people haven't even gone as far as filling out a memorial guide or a planning guide up to this point. So once you take them through that discovery, once again, now these people are interested. Now they're concerned, and now they're glad. They're grateful that you are there, making them think about something like this, because they've been putting this off and putting it off. And you often hear, you know, we've actually been talking about this quite a bit recently. And this is something we've been discussing. You know, we really need to go. We need a plan in place. Yeah, we really do. We need a plan in place. It's also going to give you an opportunity to see if these people have any life insurance. If they do, review their policies. See if you can leave them in a better position how you found them with the type of plans that they do have. Maybe you can do better. Maybe they got a good plan in place, but they don't have anything for the burial. You know, maybe they have a 10-year term that's getting ready to expire, and you put them into a 20-year term or do a 20-pay. Who knows, guys? Every situation, and no two appointments are going to be the same. But the bottom line is that whether it's your warm market or it's not, the process really shouldn't look any different than a traditional appointment from a lead that you are working. Anybody else have any questions or feedback? Who here, since joining our firm, has reached out to friends and family to share with them what it is that you do? Anybody?
Yes, I have. This is Grant again. Yes, I have.
Okay. How's that panned out? So how many people have you reached out to?
Well, including my warm market, it's been about, I'd say about 10 people.
Okay. And what have your results been?
I'm yet to get in front of them. They know I want to talk to them. I've tried to set up times to get in front of them. Well, matter of fact, a couple of my warm market people I have talked to. And a couple of them I got to get back with. The one gentleman I talked to on last Thursday at my presentation, I actually talked to him right after the presentation, and I'm going to call him when I get off the phone. I think it's doable for him. Older gentleman, he's about 62, 63. So, but mainly, you know, just getting started, getting the practice in of going through the discovery and presenting the program is what's really helping me to, you know, try to get my feet under me.
Let me share with you guys a quick story before we move on to social media. There's a gentleman that I've known, and I've shared this story a few times in the past couple of years. His name's Dwayne Butler. And Dwayne got into the energy business, Ambit Energy, selling energy is what they call it. I didn't know anything about Ambit or selling energy until I met this guy, right? And, you know, all this guy, you know, what his type of sales isn't really sales. It's a matter of getting these people to change their energy provider from Ameren or, you know, any of the other 28 providers in the state of Illinois, switch it over to Ambit and really save these people money. It doesn't cost anything to switch. And if anything, he's just trying to, you know, put money back in people's pocket instead of having them spend money. Quite a unique situation. And he had reached out to me close to when we moved to our current residence about 3 years ago. And I didn't know anything about what he was doing. And he's like, hey, you know, who do you got your electric provider through? And I said, no, I guess Ameren. He's like, well, no. They're just a facilitator. He said, who provides your actual energy? Ameren is the one who, you know, handles it, the billing and the meter reading, but they're not the one that actually provides the electric for you. Who is that? I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I just pay my electric bill. Electric bill comes in, it says $300 is what I owe, or I check for $300, and there you have it. He goes, okay, all right. He said, look, he said, what I want to do, he said, I work for Ambit now, yada, yada, and he gave me a spill. He said, well, let me come by and let me take a look at that, and let me see if I can't, you know, save you some money on your electric bill. And all he really is trying to do here, guys, is save me money. You know, of course, I didn't see it that way. I thought that he wanted to come out and give me this fancy presentation, and when he may make this switch, and he says it wouldn't cost me money, but at the end of the day, it probably would cost me money. And at the end of the day, it would probably be a much bigger hassle making this switch than what it was actually worth, and I really didn't want to do it. Well, Dwayne is very persistent, so I kind of pushed him aside and said, well, I'm not really sure. I'm busy. Let me think about it. Let me check my schedule. I don't know what Anna's schedule's like either. I'll get back to you, which I never did. Of course, this guy's persistent, so he would constantly blow my phone up every other day. Hey, Rusty, just want to, see if you'd talk to Anna and, see if you guys figured out a time where I could come by. Look, I'll be short. I'm not going to, take a whole lot of your time, but what's a good day for you? After about 2 weeks of his persistence, it paid off, and I finally agreed to meet up with this guy or have him to come out to the house on a Friday, about a week from the date I spoke to him. I didn't want to, but he is a friend. He seemed very sincere, and at the end of the day, I wanted to try to help him out too. So it is what it is. I agreed to meet with him. I scheduled the appointment, and I tell you what, as every day as we knew near the date that he was supposed to come out here, I was filled with more and more anxiety, thinking about how he's going to come here. It's going to be an all-evening affair, and he's going to give me this big fancy presentation. And at the end of the day, guys, I just didn't want him coming out. But I agreed to the meeting, and once I make a commitment to anybody or anything, I stick with it. Unless I'm in the hospital or, somebody recently passed away, I will be there. I will do it. And I did. And I'm glad I did, because at the end of the day, this guy was true to his word. He was very short, sweet, very brief, and he ended up saving me a lot of money, still till this day. I have my energy provided through Ambit, like 5.3 cents a kilowatt, something like that, which was a whole lot better than the 9 or 10 cents per kilowatt that I was paying. So he really did save me a lot of money. But I was very reluctant, guys, to meet with this guy. I was reluctant to schedule the appointment, and once I scheduled the appointment, I thought of every excuse under the sun why I should cancel. Well, something came up, well, I'm not feeling well, and just doing what our clients do, making excuses and trying to avoid responsibility, trying to avoid doing what I know I need to do, what I should be doing in order to make sure my biggest fear doesn't become a reality. So this is sales, guys. Even your friends, your family, your warm market, you need to treat them pretty much the same as what you would a traditional lead that you had purchased or that you were given. And just trying to get the appointment, get inside the door, get your knees under the table, so that way you can see if you can leave that particular person, whether you know them or you don't, in a better position than how you found them. Any other questions? Feedback? All right. Social media. Who's got a Facebook account? Who's got a Twitter account? Who has a LinkedIn account? Who has an Instagram account? So here's the thing, guys. I'm going to start with Facebook. And I know we've got close to about 24 people on the call this morning. There are just some of you out there who don't do social media. Fine. I get it. And I'll be honest with you, if I didn't have a business to run, I probably wouldn't have a social media account as well. To me, more so today than ever before. It was fun at the beginning, but now you just see all these people posting, political type of posts and all their problems and venting their frustrations, and it's not as fun as it once was. But I still have it. One, because most of my family is outside of St. Louis, most of them out of the state, and two, because I got a business to run, and so do you. Social media is free advertisement for you guys. If you do not have at least a Facebook account or a Twitter account, and you are a business owner, you're insurance sales, then guys, you're trying to help your business fail. You've got to just do certain things that you have to do in order to get the desired results. And some of that is generating leads organically and doing it for free through social media. Guys, for those who do have a Facebook account, once you partnered with us, did you ever update your employer? Have you shared with friends and family what it is that you now do? Do you make random posts about, your business, the products and the services that you market? Do you ever make any posts that help educate the public, the friends, the family, the people in your Facebook community on life insurance, on the importance of pre-planning, on the many benefits that life insurance provides, not just when you die, but also living benefits as well? If you are not, then why? It's free. Guys, it's free. Let me show you something here. Let's see if I've got it on my note. Let me do this. Okay. Let's pull up Facebook. Guys, I have a Facebook account. I have a business page. I have Instagram. I have LinkedIn. And it started off back in 2007 with just connecting the family and then all my high school buddies. And here we are so many years later. Let me see how many connections I have. 858. And more so today than ever, more people friend request me than I friend request them. And the post that I made last night was more motivational, inspirational. Quite a remarkable story right here, which if you are not friends with me, you should be, because you will never see me making a political post. You will never see me making any kind of a religious post, chastising one belief, one denomination from another. You'll never see me post anything negative. It's either going to be something humorous, something motivational, something uplifting, or something involving my family. But if you look, whenever I make up any kind of a post, I have basically about 1,000 people that I can reach out to, all with a few strokes of a key, and then hit enter. That's it. A few strokes of a key, hit enter, and I can post anything, guys. So let me give you some examples of things that I have seen over the years from other insurance professionals, not just life insurance or final expense, but just PNC agents, health insurance agents, people who specialize in annuities. Let me share with you some of the posts that I have seen, and also some of the posts that you can get really creative with this stuff, guys. And and over here in the far left corner, where you've got your employer, RVPO, Senior Life, President of Final Wishes Advisors. The sad and unfortunate thing is I'll see some people who've been partnered with us for 3 months to 6 months to sometimes even longer, and they still have their previous employer listed. They never update their employer section. And that just leaves me scratching my head thinking, you obviously weren't serious from the very get-go, or else you wouldn't still be displaying that you worked at FedEx. You wouldn't still show that you were at Prime America, or whoever it was that you are or you were previously associated with. So making posts is as simple as 5 minutes or less. You can do educational type of posts, something like this. Do you know the difference between term life and whole life? Did you know there are policies that will give you 100% of your premiums back if you don't die within that term? Did you know some policies can be paid up after 10 or 20 years? Contact me at 314-249-3877 for more information. That post will take you about 60 seconds to compose, hit enter, and then you blast it out to 858 people for free. Here's another one. Life insurance policies do more than just pay a death benefit when you die. Some also have a lot of living benefits too, like critical illness policies that pay you a lump sum if you have a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, cash values that allow you to borrow money from yourself versus a bank or credit union, or even accelerated death benefits that advances you 20, 50, or even 80% of the total death benefit when terminally ill to help cover medical costs, funeral arrangements, or whatever else you might need to use it for. Contact me at 314-249-3877 for more information. Here's another post you can do. Did you know that more families are torn apart from a death than a divorce? Did you know most of the time it had nothing to do with money? People don't plan to fail. They simply fail to plan. Contact me to find out how for just $3 a month, all your family has to do is make one single phone call. Contact me at 314-249-3877 for more information. What do you guys think of these type of posts? Give me some feedback here. Somebody besides Grant. Steve Ward, I know you're on the line. You're awful quiet. Share with me your thoughts.
I think social media is a great outlet for posting and getting the message out. Sorry about that. But I think the social media is a great outlet, and it's a good idea, because what will happen is, as you'll begin to share this, your friends will share it. And maybe they know somebody who they can share it with, and it'll branch your network out quickly. Once you start these social media things, the network will compound itself. And it's not a bad idea. What you're saying, too, is have your personal account and have your business account. So maybe go ahead and set a separate Facebook page just for your FWA, where you can run those types of campaigns and stuff. And Facebook has some stuff there that'll run that certain demographic for you. I'm not the Facebook guru by any means, but there's a lot of different stuff you can do times a day, and certain demographics you can target those messages to.
So, thank you, Steve. Again, guys, you're a business owner. And what I encourage each and every one of you to do is create a name for your business. It could be Westfall & Associates, the Westfall Group. Bonnie Bacchini, out of Princeton, Illinois, she followed my advice and created a name for her business. Actually, it was her. Bonnie, how old is your daughter again? 11 years old? 13?
She's 11.
She's 11 years old. And guys, let me tell you, her daughter came up with the most awesome name for Bonnie's business, and I'm going to pull up a flyer here that Bonnie created. Bonnie, do you mind if I share this flyer that you and your daughter came up with?
No, please do.
So the name of her business is Burdens Lifted. And here pretty soon, one of these days, my computer will load this document, and I'll show you the flyer that Bonnie created. And we tinkered around with until we came up with the final product. Word seems like it wants to load, takes about 5 to 10 minutes to load. My computer hasn't had its third cup of coffee yet. So anyway, it might be tomorrow before this document loads. Golly. But at any rate, Bonnie's came up with a name for her business, Burdens Lifted. And I absolutely love it. I love that name. And you can create a separate business page from your personal page, and you can do all kinds of marketing through that. You can make random posts that are educational in both the need, the necessity, and how different life insurance policies work, and the different companies that are out there, and how one policy is different from another. And you can take those posts that you make on your business page and share it on your personal page. And you're positioning yourself even more as a business owner and as an expert to your peers, your friends, your family. Guys, when you're making at least one post a day, some agents I see across the country do multiple posts throughout the day, each and every day. All right, guys, here's the flyer that Bonnie created. I love this tree. Burdens Lifted. Owner, agent, Bonnie Bacchini, Fede Bacchini. And she basically outlines her business plan, what she does, and the products and the services she specializes in. We offer a buffet of life insurance policies and pre-planning programs to Illinois residents tailored to each person's personal situation, needs, and budget. We only work with the top-rated insurance companies such as Mutual of Omaha, Forester, Senior Life, and many others. And then she highlights some of the features and benefits of some of the plans that she offers. Protection you want when your family needs it. Ages 0 to 85 are eligible to apply. Plans from $1,000 to $1 million in coverage. No physical exams will be required. Special programs for those with any medical condition or background, including guaranteed acceptance. Can work with any budget. Children and grandchildren plans. Plans that refund 100% of your premiums. There's no death claim for those who qualify. Burden's Lifted also offers planning programs for those wanting to pre-plan in advance. For an additional $3 a month, you and your four household members can leave it to where your family only has to make one phone call at the time of need. Whoever's phone is ringing in the background, if you could please mute your phone, I'd appreciate it. And then she highlights some of the features and benefits of the planning program. Access to purchase funeral merchandise locked in at wholesale pricing forever, unlike the high cost funerals. Free shipping of vaults, headstones, caskets, or urns. And then she's in parentheses here, since 1984, funeral homes cannot refuse merchandise provided by the family. You can archive your final wishes for your loved ones. Your loved ones can get you I guess we forgot an R here, didn't we, Bonnie? Your loved ones can get a toll-free service number to call in time of need, removing any mental burden from being left on the family. Legacy Assurance ensures your family will receive the best funeral price available, saving thousands of dollars. So down at the bottom, it's got all our contact information, and there you have it. So, guys, you can take this and you can save it in a JPEG, and you can post it on social media. You can take this flyer. There, check this out, guys. And I know that this is on the FWA website. I thought I had updated this flyer. I did not. So sometime later today, I'm going to take this flyer down. I'm going to post one that's almost identical but without the logos. What we're getting away from is limiting ourselves to just one company and letting these people that we know that we have multiple programs, carriers that we work with. So at the end of the day, we will shop it around and we will get these people the best possible solution based on their current situation, their health, their needs, and what their budget allows for. But this flyer here is on the FWA website on the advisor resources. When you scroll down to the bottom, miscellaneous, it's found right there. Pull this up. And there you are, marketing flyer. So again, later today, this will be taken off, and I will update the new one minus these logos. Guys, going back to logos here, when you create any kind of advertisement, if you leave insurance company's name off of it, and so it's not an insurance company specific related marketing piece, then you will not have to get it approved through any particular compliance department of that insurance carrier. Okay, so here it just shows that we work with only top rated carriers, so we're not marketing only a Mutual of Omaha or a Senior Life product, and we're highlighting features and benefits of the programs we offer. That's why this particular piece does not have to be compliance approved with any of these insurance carriers. Now, what can you do with these flyers? Give me some ideas here. Well, you can, first of all, in addition to posting something like this and other content on social media, you can print off these flyers and you can distribute them throughout the community. You can put flyers in laundromats. Guys, it's been many, many years since I've been in a laundromat, but I know laundromats still have bulletin boards, do they not? You can put flyers like this on bulletin boards in libraries, senior communities, community rooms, break rooms, even their laundromats. DaVita Dialysis, believe it or not, you can put flyers and brochures and information at dialysis places, grocery stores. Guys, there are no limits to putting your name out there in the community and letting people know in Princeton, Illinois, or in St. Louis, Missouri, or in Nashville, Tennessee, or in Wichita, Kansas, or Tulsa, Oklahoma, who you are and that you are the man or woman that these people need to see when they have any kind of a life insurance, burial insurance, funeral, cremation, funding, planning, need, or concern, right? You are that person that they need to get in front of to come out there and help them to the best of
There's another idea,
their ability.
too.
Their ability.
Some of these towns may have this. I don't mean to interrupt you, Rusty, but I want to get
You're
that
fine.
point in. You were talking about the distribution of your flyers or getting your name out there. In Paducah, Kentucky, they have a local, it's city only, but they put little billboards, little electronic billboards all over town in the restaurants where patrons are going to be. And you might be at a bus stop, you might be at a restaurant, you might be at a ball game, whatever it is. And when they run that ad at that time, all the billboards get that ad. Check your local communities, and they all have some sort of program you can run these things in, even little ads in the local paper, those types of things. But when you start looking at this stuff, there's a lot of different ways to get that out there.
That's right. I remember back when I was a kid, and I'm sure that they still do this, and different businesses do this, across the nation. But back when I was a kid, my mom and dad, when they started their upholstery shop, right there in our home, in our 2-car garage, my parents created these flyers, and they would print them up by the thousands. And my dad and my brother and I, we would drive out to these. And I'm not advising you to do this. I'm just kind of giving an example of what my parents did. Some of the things that they did in order to get their name out in the community. And they would print these flyers off by the thousands, and we go in the Kmart parking lots and the grocery store parking lots and the Tascos and wherever there was an influx of parked vehicles, and that's what we did. We would put the flyers underneath the windshield wiper blade, and we made a contest out of it, who could, flyer the most cars between my brother and I, and of course I always won, right? But guys, that was just an example. Back in the day, my parents built an incredible, what started off as an upholstery business, ended up into a 40,000 square foot operation. So the back half of that operation was the upholstery business, and the front half of that operation really turned into a Hobby Lobby. And it all started with just creating flyers and distributing those out by the thousands, by the bulk, wherever they could, however they could, to get the message out there of their business and the type of furniture that they specialize in reupholstering, work. And it cost them, outside of the cost of printing the paper, nothing but their time. A few other examples here, guys, of social media posts, and I actually printed these off last night. Where did it go? There we go. All right. You can really have a lot of fun with this on social media. There are no limits to the type of posts that you can put out there. Some can be educational. Some can be, more like shame on you and why don't you have this? And some can be just downright humorous and funny. So give me a second here. I'm going to load this one picture, and we're going to slide from one. What do they call them? Memes, Steve? Is it a meme? Meme? I don't know.
Don't ask me. My daughter frowns at me every time I try to say it.
I should already have this. Meme. I've got a whole bunch of these here I want to share with you guys. If and when. There we go. And, guys, if you would like for me to send you copies of any of these memes, all you got to do is raise your hand, shoot me an email, and say, hey, can you send me those? So that way you can take these and post them on your Facebook page, on your Twitter account, on your Instagram, on your LinkedIn account, whatever. Life insurance is not about making them rich. Here's a funny one. So you got the coffee mug talking to the glue. Excuse me, can I buy life insurance now? And his brother had fallen off the countertop. Funeral plan for those who want to wait or don't need life insurance, your picture goes here. What do you mean my parents don't have life insurance? I don't always buy life insurance, but when I do, it's from local life insurance agents. Life insurance is not for you, it's from you. Life insurance is cheaper to buy 10 years too early than 1 minute too late. My job is to ask you about life insurance. Please don't make it my job to tell your family you didn't have any. Life insurance, because your family may depend on it someday. Family killed by ninjas need money for karate lessons. Funny. Buying life insurance is like fixing a leak in your roof. The longer you wait, the more expensive it gets. Now, this is one of my favorite ones. No one ever thought life insurance agents were too pushy while sitting at a funeral. Agree? Amen? Think life insurance, new addition to your family? Maybe it's time to review your life insurance. That right there is a great post to for those people who are, you're friends with on social media who are in their 30s, 20s or 30s, and they have a young family or a new family. And they're going to see a post like this, and they're going to think, yeah, maybe we should increase our amount of coverage. Maybe we should get something on Skylar, who is now 2 months old. Don't keep yourself a secret, guys. Think life insurance. Wives sometimes object to life insurance. Widows never do. Are you ready? We need to talk. This is a fun one, too. So let me get this straight. You've got insurance on your cell phone, but not on your own life. And so those are a few that I printed off last night, going through my own archives and going through a few other friends on Facebook that I know, constantly posting content like that. And so, guys, there's so many different ways that you can get your message out there, and it doesn't cost you anything. And guys, through pure repetition, post after post, you should be doing a minimum of one a day, at least one a day. And guys, people will start sending messages. People will start calling your cell phone. People will start sending you text messages. Hey, I'm always seeing your post on there about life insurance, and my mother, we just recently had a family meeting, and we found out she didn't have any. We'd like to see, what you might be able to do to help us out. Or I just had a heart attack and I ain't got no coverage. Do you think it could probably help somebody like me? Guys, you're putting ads out there that cost you nothing but 60 seconds of your time, and people might not respond on that in that first post that you do. Some will, but if they don't do it on the first or the second or the fifth or the 10th, you will generate some business. It's just going to happen. And it's not just these people that you're friends with, but it's also people that they're connected to. Sometimes when I want my message to really get out there, I want to get out there and reach as many cotton picking people that I possibly can. And I don't do this very often. I probably do this about once a year, but what I'll do is I'll start tagging all the people that I know who wouldn't have a problem with me tagging these people. And when you tag people in your post, then everybody the people that you are tagging, not only do they see it, but all the people that they are connected with on their friends list, they also see your post. So when you tag people, let's say I've got 858 people and I tag Jamie, who has 1,000 people, now I just reached out to 1,800 people because I tagged Jamie. So all 1,000 friends and connections that she has on her Facebook account, now they all see my post because I tagged Jamie in it. And that's just the power of social media, guys. That's how it works. So be a business owner, guys. Don't keep yourself a secret. All these things do is just cost you nothing more than 60 seconds of your time, and you can really, really have a lot of fun with this. I know I do, and some of these memes can be really funny, and at the same time, make a point. It doesn't have to be just the meme. It can be just dry content like what I was reading off to you guys on educating these people on some of the benefits. Because at the end of the day, not only do 95% of the people you get in front of not know the basic differences of term and whole life insurance, I'm going to say 98, 99% of everybody that you make contact with, unless they already carry a life insurance license, they really don't know all the additional benefits that life insurance offers to them, the insured, while they're alive. It's not just one of those things that only does what it's supposed to do when you die, but it has a lot of additional living benefits as well.